I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 11, Volume 5. And this week, I couldn't do a tape that didn't at least say the word football on it. Now, this is one of the tapes that Douglas Titchmarsh sent me, link in the description below. Douglas sent me a collection of tapes that had survived a flood and were his and his brother's tapes. Now, this is even more interesting, though, because wait until you open it. So, first off, I'd like to note quality workmanship there, Doug. Nice drawing, nice artwork. We've got the football, we've got the world. I think that's a world as a football flying through the air. Awesome, right? First off, awesome art. We got awesome art, and then we've got the tape itself. And I love this because these were from the factory where you actually got the Horizon tapes from, because Douglas's uncle used to work there, and he used to bring home a few extra tapes for Doug to record over. So Doug basically sent me a huge collection of these Sinclair ZX Spectrum tapes. We almost feel like we're closer to Sinclair when we touch these, don't we? So yeah, that's what we've got. So first off, we got that. I don't know how much of the tape is recorded over with that, so I thought I'd bring in a spare. We've got a mighty boots tape. I always call them mighty boots tapes. It says something about Ralph Golf. This is also, I think this is still part of Douglas's collection, but I can't remember, to be honest with you. They've all got a little bit mixed up. My wife decided that she'd put them all into the same box, and of course I have no idea what's what now. But yeah, we've got a mighty boots tape. These are usually pretty, well, they're more hit than miss, if that makes sense, in the loading. So we're going to give that one a try as well. But without further ado, let's put some football on. Right, the tape is in the drive, so we'll go down to our old favourite, loaded it. So we've got a basic, and then loaded it, and enter. Let's go for it. So I'm hoping this is a good one, a simple one. It loads straight away. I have no idea. There was quite a lot of football games back in the day. There was quite a lot. You know, there was all kinds of things. Match Day comes to mind, which is I think was one with the Bob Wakeland cover, wasn't it? Or was that Superstar Soccer? I think it's Superstar Soccer now, thinking about it, actually. But there was quite a few football games back in the day, anyway. There's quite a lot of them, and I mean, to be fair, it's been you know, the Britain's sort of pretty much. Oh, so this is not Match Day or football this side. This is definitely the Horizons tape. Now we've seen this before, so we're not going to continue with this. We're going to swap it over and rewind it. It's not what I would call a bad start. It's just not the start we expected, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to stop it there. I'm going to swap it over. We'll restart the tape, and let's hope it's not actually a perfect Horizons tape, which is quite possible, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, the tapes were mixed up. It came in a box that was flooded. So I'll be quite disappointed, though, if we can't find a football game within the whole thing. And I can't even think of one on my shelf. I know there's a lot of them around, but I can't see if I got one on a shelf. I'm just turning around to have a little look. I'll tell you why I've said Match Day. It's because it's behind me. We might just do that if that's the case. We might just do Match Day. Was that a Bob Wakeland? I don't think it was it? It's not compatible with a 128K. A 128K plus 2A. Well, we're not using the plus 2A, so we should be all right. So we'll just rewind this tape, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's there. We'll put it one side anyway. We'll put Match Day at one side. We may have to play Match Day at the end of the day. To be fair, my favourite soccer game, and I don't know what your favourite soccer game is Sensible World of Soccer or Sensible Soccer. Now, Sensible Soccer, the original one, was brilliant. It was excellent, and they adapted it to the final version, which I think's the best version, which is Sensible World of Soccer, which is basically a game where you had little men, it was top-down view, and you ran round, and you could get a couple of touches on the ball, and you could put a bit of spin on the ball as well to sort of curve it into directions, and it was just really good because it was actually quite it required a little bit more than the usual sort of it's attached to your foot, and you can run round, and it stays there, and basically it just sticks with your man unless somebody tackles you or pushes the button at the right time, which is kind of, I don't know. I always think that when you're running with a football, aren't you? So it's a little bit more difficult. Program F. That sounds good. That sounds like football. Anyway, I've got a cup of coffee. I hope you've got a beverage. I'm just going to have a quick drink of my coffee. Oh, coffee's good. Anyway, yeah. So, how's your week been? You had a good week? You been busy? Done anything good? No? Watched a bit of football, I bet, for most of you. I certainly did, anyway. Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. Got a lot done. It's always good to get a lot done in my book. You know, lots and lots of things moved forward and sort of arranged and sorted. So it's not been too bad. I don't know how much other than this program F is going to be on there. I'm just going to assume it's a football game, though. Football. Could be. The one that always sticks out for me is Football Manager. Wintersoft Football. Never heard of this one. Your team. Yours. Demon United. There we go. That's us. Second team. Loser. Muck Loser. There we go. Loser McLoser. That's it. They're definitely going to do it. Team. You're on team 1. Yours. Well, I did say. Did I not just say Demon? Team 2. Loser. All right. Okay. Doesn't like spaces. So we got a problem there with spaces. Press 1. Skill level 1. I've never heard of this game before. I don't know how this works. Oh. I wonder what the keys are. How do I kick it? Oh, I seem to have kicked it. I don't know what the keys are. It's very frustrating. I wonder if it was break. I can break, right? Okay, let's listen to the program and see if we can find out what the controls are. We're looking for the in key command. There'll be an in key command somewhere. What do we have to do? Or is it just playing itself? I don't know. In key command. Let's look for the in key command. I haven't seen it yet. Can you see it? If this, let that. There's my guys running around the pitch. Goal. Go to space bars in there for some reason. Goal, draw, plot. Right, okay. Let's see if we can find the keys for this. Ooh. Wintersoft Football. Have you ever played it? It's a game you know of. It's a kind of an old game. Press any key. Load G. Use the that's the graphics being loaded. Wintersoft. Type your name of your team. I did not see the keys. It's only got 900 lines in it as well. So let's list it again. Let's see if I can find the keys. If 9 or 4, then go to right. So there's 9 and 4 there. 0. Yep. We've got the 4 key. Is there a 5 key? Well, we've got 9 and 4. It says there on line 5. 9 and 4. We've got 0 key as well. So I think we're cursors, to be honest with you. Let's try it. I mean, it usually is cursors, to be honest with you. Let's be fair. Let's run that. Ah, no, it doesn't run. Let's go. Let's have a little list again, because I saw a line. That's just really annoying. I've upset myself, haven't I? We need to run from a specific point, don't we? We need to know where it's asking for the teams, where it says Wintersoft, so we need to run from that line. Where's the Wintersoft? Where's Wintersoft? Wintersoft. I'm hoping if we run from there, we're okay. There we go. Run 901, I think is where we want to be. Break. Run 901. There we go. That's cool. I'll work. That works for me. So we're Demon. They're Loser. Skill 1. Enter. Without go sub. Ah, no! How annoying. Right. Okay. Let's rewind it. We'll try it. We'll just load it again, because I can't work out where the command runs from there, to be honest with you. Return 7 without go sub. Yeah, I know. So it's return to 7 without go sub. Oh, maybe it runs from 7. Break. Run. 7. No. It's not good. Right, let's just do a new, and we'll do a load. Because it loaded very smoothly anyway, so we can do that. We can definitely do that. So I think we've got the cursor keys for this, so we'll give it a try going up and down and see if we can get this to work. It does look like somebody's written it. But you know, the thing is that back then you got plenty of games that were written in BASIC that you could actually do it. You know, the old interpreter actually built into the whole thing, so kind of clever realistically. I find it amusing though that the computers nowadays are kind of more blank than they were previously. When you were a kid, obviously you had your old Spectrum here, and the Spectrum had its built-in BASIC and all the other things, so you could literally write a program from where you started. Nowadays you kind of get an operating system. And if you get an interpreter or a command line or a compiler of some sort that allows you to write code, it's almost few and far between unless you're talking about say the Linux system, because that's kind of built into it if you're using a certain type of shell or script for the whole thing. But coffee, another coffee. You have a sup, I'll have a sup. We'll drink for every goal, maybe. I don't know. We'll give it a try anyway. I've got a busy week ahead next week, actually. Starting from Monday, which is an early start, which nobody really wants on a Monday after a football match, win or lose. It's a long week. Just lots and lots of bits and pieces. Funnily enough, working at a football club again as well. But yeah, long week. So all football. Here we go. Right, Demon. Loser. Skill 1. So 4 and 9 seem to do something. So and what player am I? Oh, they scored. 0. Oh, he's got it. Oh, I can move with 7 and whatever else it is. So I can actually move. It is the cursor keys. It just seems very light, if that makes sense. I don't know why I'm that particular player. I seem to be the goalkeeper. Oh, he's going to score with that. Own goal. I don't know how to kick that. I just seem to be defending. My players don't seem to be doing very much. He seems to be moving around on his own. It's not the best of football games I've ever played. There's a time in the top corner as well. It seems to be counting up. I don't know whether it's going to 90 minutes or... Swap player? Oh, hang on. Enter seemed to kick the ball there. I'm trying to press the enter button here on it. Oh, God. Oh, he's shooting for the goal. He's missed. I'm outrunning him. Press it. Push a button. Come on. Shoot. Do something. I might as well just move out of the way. Yeah, the loser team, unfortunately, is doing very well at beating the Demon team. It's not the best, is it? It's not the greatest game. I wonder if there's any more football on here. Let's see if we've got any more football on this game. Yeah, Wintersoft version. Not played that before. It's probably one of them games that's kind of really sought after, you know, very rare, because it'll have been probably one that you had to send off from a magazine, because I used to do that as well. I used to do that with shareware, actually, when you got to the PC generation, and the Amstrad and the Atari ST. I kind of liked that. Do you know, maybe I don't know how you felt about that, but back then I quite enjoyed the whole idea of, you know, sending off a postal order. Remember postal orders? You still get postal orders, by the way, because postal orders is effectively a cash equivalent in postal. So if you use postal postage. You can pay for things with stamps, effectively. It's the same difference. Postal orders, the same thing. I remember sending off several postal orders in my times. Main one was for Lords of Chaos for the add-ons, and for the Laser Squad add-ons as well. I sent off for those. I went off to was it Blade, wasn't it? Blade Software that it was at the time, and sent off for those through the post. They were kind of cool. I was quite impressed by those. I rather enjoyed those kind of things. But yeah, you used to send off all kinds of postal orders and things like that. And we used to send off for shareware back then, and we used to get our discs and things like that. And I rather liked that because before the internet, we had these sort of connections to actually get it. And I know there was modems and all that out there in the 90s and things like that. People used to use bulletin boards and things. Do you remember bulletin boards? I only ever used about 2 in my entire lifetime, because by then we were already all connecting to the internet. You know, my first one was being FreeServe. Anybody remember FreeServe? I think it was that a freebie that was given away by a supermarket or something like that? Can't remember. But anyway, there was FreeServe. That was the big one. Oh, it's here again. Look, maybe it's one they programmed. Maybe this is one Doug programmed or typed in anyway. It's maybe what we're missing. It's Wintersoft again. 16K and 48K Spectrum, it says on the front. Sinclair. 16K, 40. Yeah, but you used to get all these sort of shareware products and all kinds of shareware games. And I quite liked those because some of them were really, really good. I mean, some on the Amiga were fantastic. PC were a bit hit and miss, but this is where things like Apogee turned up. Apogee did, was Commander Keen, and a number of other things that along the way, and this is where 3D Realms came from, and 3D Realms then went on to create Duke Nukem 3D. Do you remember Duke Nukem 3D? Crash the classic game. Doom, ID basically effectively gave away Doom as well as a shareware game, and that shareware game then was the one that you could buy for doing I don't know. You know, by sort of with all the add-ons that went with it, and it was quite a good way of doing it. I don't know if this is going to work any better. Let's see if I can. No, still the keeper. Oh, he scored. No, he hasn't. I can press the number 4 and it appears in the top corner. It's very weird. I don't know how I'll change players. 2. Ah, it's what player I'm playing as. Player 1, 2. Ah, right. Okay, so the numbers are the players. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm assuming. No, 5's the 1. 1 will be... Who's 1? There's 1. 2 is him. 3 is down the bottom. 4 is three. That's me. 3 there. I'm guessing. Who's? How do I get back to the space? It's not getting any better, by the way. It really isn't. I suppose think if we press 3 again, it turns it off, does it? No, I don't know. I don't know. It's not the best of games. Let's see if there's anything else on here. I suspect Doug has filled it with football, the same football, Wintersoft's football. I suspect there's more Wintersoft's football on here. This goes back to the old Ghostbusters episode where basically there was one tape full of 12 copies of Ghostbusters. Do you remember? We just kept fast forwarding and finding more Ghostbusters. Oh, look, Ghostbusters, more Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters, and some more Ghostbusters to go with the Ghostbusters, which was a great game. But I'm not sure that we needed that much Ghostbusters with it. So we'll see. Okay, it's a nice long space. I suspect there's more. I think we've got a lot of them. Thanks, Doug. Oh, I love coffee. It is brilliant. Most exciting thing, though, about Sensible Soccer being the best version of soccer. The most exciting thing about Sensible Soccer is that it's actually, in a strange sort of way, coming back. I know it came back on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and I'm ashamed it didn't reappear on PC. It still had all the same bugs, though. The most annoying bug of all is it's still in it, the one which is where you can't win the World Cup with any team. When you win the World Cup, the game instantaneously hangs and no longer works anymore, and it never blooming works. I've played Sensible Soccer on all lots of versions, from Commodore Amiga to the PC I say PC new version. That's like the only DOS version of it, rather than the old sort of way back whenever it was created version. Never been able to win the World Cup on any version, because the moment you win the World Cup, game hangs endlessly. That's it. End of it. No more game whatsoever. It's never going to happen. So it's really quite disappointing, actually, that happens, if that makes sense. I kind of hate that, if I'm honest. So I'm not a happy bunny when it comes to that particular part about it. But if you can play everything else, you can win the European Cup, you can do the whole thing. You can do the lot. Can't win the World Cup. Won't you win the World Cup, the game's over. In fact, I think you can't even lose it. If you lose it because you're in the last game, the last thing, it's over as well, because it has a management element, and you will lose it and you still can't yet. It's all over. It's just the end of the World Cup. This is going very well, by the way. You can see we're into 18 minutes or so, and we're still looking at the empty. It's a very empty side of the tape. I think that's a lot. I think that's all our football on that particular tape. So I'm going to go for the other tape next, and then we'll try Match Day, because I found the Hit Squad version lying on the shelf. So we'll stick that on as well for fun. We might as well while we're at it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just it's just a shame that doesn't actually fix on the later versions. But I would like to see it appear for the PC. I'd like to see it appear on modern day on more of the modern day consoles. I know you can kind of back compat it with or back compatibility with the Xbox One, but I'm not very keen on keeping these more modern consoles now. I'm kind of going off them a bit, if that makes sense. I'd rather stick with a PC at the moment. I don't see much point in these modern ones. They're just, yeah, they're all right, and the things are going to work on them, but at the same time, they've got a limited lifespan, realistically. Anyway, let us go with the next tape. I'll just hide the other one on the floor. This one says Ralph Golf, I think, except it's not rewound on that side. It's rewound on side B. So let's find out what's on side B first, and we'll go for that. Nice, mighty C15 boots tape. They're always good, these boots ones. Well, I say they're always good. We've had. Well, there's data on there. Let's hope it loads. Okay. That was a good start. I think that's a level. Let's turn it over and start from the other side. Let's turn it over and start from the other side. Let's go with this Ralph's Golf. I don't know what Ralph's Golf is. Have anybody heard of Ralph Golf? Yeah, it's definitely Ralph. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, am I reading that wrong? No, it's definitely Ralph. It's definitely Ralph's Golf. Ralph has golf. I'll just rewind it now. We'll see what happens. I had broadband down for this the other day as well. That was quite funny. So my broadband went down at about, I don't know what time it was. Maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And broadband went down. Daughter comes out of her room. She says, broadband's down. I said, yes, I know. And she said, what are we going to do? I said we're going to have to go back old school. We're going to have to get out a DVD or a Blu-ray and watch it on the telly. Well, I'll have to save my data, she says. I've only got 8 gig to last me until we're repaired. Yeah, 3 hours. That was it. It was down for 3 hours, but 3 hours was far too much for her. She was like, "It's too long. It's too long. We can't make 3 hours without broadband. It's the most important thing in the world." It's quite funny, really. First world problems, as they say. First world problems. 3 hours without broadband is the massive issue. Right, I'm going to change the tape to the other tape drive. Fingers crossed. Ralph. Cool. I've never heard of Ralph. I have no idea what it is. It says Ralph. Oh. Ralph. I'm trying to think of a Ralph. The only thing I can think of is that John Goodman movie. Do you remember that? King Ralph. I can't remember the name of the girl he played opposite, but where the whole royal family die in a freak accident because they basically put them on this like scaffolding thing that they all sort of were chairs sitting on, and it was sitting in a pool of water, and the electrical cable hits it, and the entire royal family is destroyed bar this sub member of the family who happens to be an American who's very brash and a lounge singer, yeah. It's not a bad movie. Ralph on Alpha 2. Never heard of it. This is an interesting one. Ralph on Alpha 2. Alpha 2. I'm just wondering there because it said something about golf, so maybe it's golf afterwards. But this is Ralph on Alpha 2. I've never heard of this game. Have you heard of this game? Is it a game you know of? Played quite a few random games recently. I feel like I've had a bit of a random session with games. AS done. Okay. Doesn't look very happy, Ralph, on Alpha 2. He's like staring. It's like a 1,000-yard stare, that, isn't it? It's like he's come back from combat or something similar. He's seen it all. His pupil is popping out of his actual eyeball. He's unhappy. Maybe it's a shoot 'em up. Hey, let's hope it's a shoot 'em up. I like a bit of shoot 'em up. Start a little bit of shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up will do the job. After Wintersoft's fantastic football game. Oh, coffee's so good. I love coffee. I must drink loads of coffee when I'm at work. Just gallons of the stuff. Oh. What happened? It's all gone very black. Let's rewind it. Push the reset. That wasn't very good. Ralph on Alpha 2. Let's give it another try. Come on, Ralph. Let's give you another load this way, and we'll give it a try. It's not what's on the tape if it doesn't fail anyway. So let's be honest. It's not what's on the tape if it doesn't fail. Ralph on Alpha 2. I'm gonna have a look on PlayZX just in case we can't get this to load from here. Let's have a quick search for that. So Ralph. Oh, it came on the... oh, God, it's massive. That's maybe why it doesn't load, actually. I think it's got parts to it. Done. It says it came on a 1648 tape. So these are like a magazine tape that was there. Ralph on Alpha 2 came on there. It was 11 minutes and 13 minutes, side one of the tape. So I assume this is just copied off that tape itself. So Ralph on Alpha 2 must be part of that whole long magazine tape that was actually with it. Now, I'm actually wondering now, because the box I pulled it out of, it had a 1640, what did I say, 1618? 1648K tape up in it. Hang on a second, you stay there. You should have a little wander across here. Hang on, I'm here. Aha! I have a tape with me here. And it's got a title, and it's got Ralph 48K. So there's a title and contents. It actually was in the box. So I wonder whether or not... Well, I don't know why they copied it off onto another tape. But Load Dit Dit is there on it. It says tape 18 of 1648. Never got this up north. We never really got this. It was not a thing that I... Well, certainly wasn't a thing I ever saw up north. I mean, I've only ever discovered these recently, and I was wondering whether they were just like hobbyist type things, but I'm guessing it was kind of serious at the time. It says Argos Press on it. Well, we have the tape. We have the original tape. It doesn't look the best of shape, but we have the original tape. So if this doesn't load, we'll give the original tape a blast and we'll see what the contents on it, see if it gives us some instructions on it. Because that'll be quite interesting to see that, actually. That also explains why it says golf. So they've copied this off as well. On side 2, there's one that says golf and explode. Yep, that's not going to work. Let's just stop that. Let's stop that. Let's just eject that, because I think they've just copied this tape from there. I think the other side's probably the same when it wasn't loading earlier. He thinks. I wonder why they did that. I'm guessing it came from the same set. I wouldn't think this is Doug's set, by the way. So sorry, Doug, this isn't you. I don't think. This is coming from another set. Let's just do a little. Let's do a little experiment here. We'll see whether or not what's on the second side, whether it kind of pairs up with the first side, if that makes sense. We'll see what happens. And then we'll try loading this 16, 18, whatever else it is. I've got it in PlayZX, so we're okay that way. So we've got all the possible data that's there. We can have a little look at that. We've got, what was it? Ludoids 5 on it as well. Of Dungeons and Green Men is also on it. Reviews, crosswords, Virgin competition, editorial, beginners, machine code for... it's your golf. So I'm guessing this is the golf from the whole thing. It's really interesting after all, isn't it? It's been quite... No, we've got rid of all the football. Those of you who didn't like the football, you can skip right through that now. We're on to more interesting things now. I'm interested to see what this Ralph thing is, though. The Ralph one has actually got me quite interested. 1985 Ralph was. Yep, issue 18. It's exactly the right one. Well, I'll be. 48K Spectrum. Interesting. Do find these interesting because, as I say, I never got these. We got Crash, and we got your Sinclair user. And that was pretty much about it for the Spectrum side of things back in the day for us. That's all the magazines that really came that this far north. I mean, I used to love going down to my granny who lived in the Midlands, because in the Midlands they seem to have an awful lot more options and things that are available. I mean, I had a WH Smiths, but our WH Smiths didn't carry half the number of games and peripherals for my Spectrum that hers did. So when we were down in there, I would often buy things, and at the end of the holiday, you'd bring it home and plug it in, so you wouldn't be able to try it there, and then when you were down there, you had to go the whole holiday without. I mean, my granny had one of them grandstand games, with the old the twisty turn things. I can't think of a better name for them. Where you turned them instead of a joystick, turned left and right, and you sort of turned these things, sort of a turning thing, with Pong and football and all this sort of 5 games built in. Oh, my favourite though was they had a target shooting game where you had to shoot a little white block that flew around the screen with the light gun. Bloomin' loved that. I used to hide behind the sofa and shoot at it, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one who used to do that, but yeah, I used to shoot it from behind the sofa because that was just so cool back then in those days. Light gun games. So miss light gun games. I really do. I miss them. I understand that the Wii had them. There were one with the Wii. You could actually get them on the Wii if you had a Wii, the Nintendo Wii. They had light gun games, and of course the Wii games are compatible with the Wii U. So if you got a Wii U, you could actually use a light gun on the Wii U. I didn't realise that, because that means that up until just 3 generations ago, we still had light gun games, and now we don't have light gun games anymore. Because telly's changed and the way it works changed, so it became more difficult to create a equivalent of without having some kind of motion tracking device, which the Wii had. If that makes sense. So it's kind of disappointing actually. I really miss that. I miss those days. I miss those light gun days. Light guns, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was the only game I ever wanted for Christmas in 1988 was Operation Wolf, because it was a light gun game I played in the arcade with the old Uzi attached, and it was vibrated as it did it. Oh, blooming typical. Just typical. Arte Ibera, and it's right at the end of the tape. Is there anything else on there? No, it's just a fault at the end of that tape. There's like a brrr. We've done really well with this one. This tape's gone really, really well. Let's have a little look at the original tape. I don't know why the original tape isn't in the drive or isn't working, but let's go with the original tape. Let's rewind this and let's just hope like hell it loads. Otherwise, we're going to go to the Play ZX. So let's just rewind this. It's nothing but R-tape errors now. It's just the nature of the beast. 2 loads of football and then R-tape errors. We have done Horizons before. If you want to find it, have a little look at the pictures on there. I can't remember which episode it was, but if you look at the pictures in the playlist for what's on the tape, you'll find one with like it's where it's got I remember I did this like half scored out. It's like this, and then there's a picture of the Horizons tape. And if you know what the Horizons tape look like, then go for it. You know, so and to be fair, if you're looking for the Horizons tape, then you have had a Spectrum in the past. So that's the general gist. So here we go. So we're going with this tape 18 side 1. I do have, as I say, the whole thing on the Play ZX if we have to go to that, resort to that the method of getting it working. There you go, though, completely failed with the old Boots tape. Remember I said they tend to be a bit good and they work? Yeah, that one didn't work, did it? Didn't work at all. We failed on that one. Absolute failure. Definite failure. There we go, 48K, load 1. Yeah, excellent. I tried loading one of these before. I think it was Enigma. Now, I didn't have Enigma back in the day either. It was another one that didn't come to us. Up north, so we didn't have Enigma, and that one kind of loaded a little bit. Did one of the Shinobi games from that chap who I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, I do apologise if you know who I'm talking about. He recently passed away. He was kind of the godfather of Shinobi and all of the sort of text adventures of the day. Never really got into them. Well, no, I like text adventures, don't get me wrong, but I was really bad at them. There's only one I'm interested in looking for. There's one called, it was a double tape thing, and it included the Hexagon Museum and Tangled Tale. It's the only one I want that I'm missing from my sort of collection of bits and pieces. It really is the thing that I wanted to sort of do. Full 48K games. We'll skip these. I don't want a hard copy. Press any key. Q quits. Right, okay, side 1. Ralph, edit, begin, tutor, and whatever else. So, yeah, no, Tangled Tale and a Hexagon Museum. And it was the Hexagon Museum. The Tangled Tale was basically press any key. I'm going to press a key. Oh, press a key. 2, please. Ralph. Ralph is on Alpha 2 and a multi-screen game by Darren Farmer and Andrew Dunn of Accrington. Apologies for the lack of quit option. You will have to pull the plug and press restart to unload that did to continue. That's fine. Okay. Oh, Q to quit. Right, okay, so you quit and then you do load it. Run the tape. There we go. So this is the alpha thing anyway. So yeah, what was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought there. I was talking about something there and I was enjoying whatever I was talking about. Please disconnect your Kempston interface. I don't have a Kempston interface. I don't have a Kempston interface. Maybe that's why it was crashing earlier, but I don't know. There we go, it's Ralph. Oh, fingers crossed Ralph loads. I have no idea if it will or it won't, to be honest with you. I did this time round. Weird. Right, okay. What was I saying? Oh, that's really annoying, because I bet you that was actually quite interesting from me for a change. Oh, I'm really annoyed about that. I can't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about something and I was having a little good old yak away about it, and then I've just gone off a sidetrack. I'll probably remember in a minute or two, but if I don't, put in the comments below that I'm an idiot for forgetting what I was talking about. I was just on a roll, as they say. I was just on a roll. I was just chatting about all kinds of rubbish and sort of telling you all about something else. Frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Right, okay, we're going to do Ralph anyway on Alpha 2. I'm not sure what Ralph's doing, but it's by these chaps, Mr. Farmer and Mr. Dunn. So we'll get them loaded. But yeah, we don't. As I say, we never had these things up north. They never really appeared realistically. We didn't have the options and bits and pieces that you guys maybe had further south if you're watching this further south. And if you're watching it further north, you probably had even less, because I think it just seemed to be. It was one of those things. Nowadays, you can pretty much go to a WH Smith's and all blooming the same, aren't they? They're all the same things. It's not like you're going to find something different in the north that you're going to find in the south, which kind of makes the high street the most boring thing ever. Realistically, it doesn't give you that. I guess the changes that you could possibly have on you know, and the variety of going somewhere and finding someone that does a craft shop, or somebody that sells paintings or something similar or something different. I mean, I know you find those in all what you call the tourist traps, but it also means your high street is extremely boring. It's almost not worth going there anymore, and that's the sad part about the high street, and the fact that they pay so much tax and all the other bits and pieces to be there. It's kind of disappointing for them, I guess. Anyway, I'm hoping Ralph does load. I have no idea what Ralph actually is, because we still didn't actually explain what Ralph was, did it? There we go. That didn't sound good, that tape there, did it? I can't remember what I was talking about. I'm still annoyed with myself. Can't remember. Went off on a sidetrack and forgot all about it. It's extremely frustrating because my mind's like ticking now, going, what was I saying before I got to that? Anyway, we'll find out when we get onto. We'll get onto Ralph and then we'll find out what's going on. So we'll find out what's actually loading on there, and we'll see what the game actually entails, and we'll see what's actually there. I have to admit, Crash is probably my favourite because I felt it was the more, I guess the word, I mean nowadays, more punk. Possibly the word is that it was more out there. It was more Generation X. You know, it was that kind of thing. It was like hardcore metal kind of thing. You felt like that it was Oliver Frey who used to do the covers for it quite a lot of the time. And they were just brilliant. And I remember the very first one was just like this sort of alien robot with space invaders in his eyeballs, holding the joystick, pushing the fire button with his gigantic sort of metallic style teeth. And I just remember that first cover, and I was like, "Yep, that's the magazine for me." There was another comic book that ran in the 90s called Blast, and for the life of me, I cannot find. Pressing the key on the keyboard to continue. Yeah. I cannot find for the life of me Century Soft. All right, this looks quite cool actually. I like the graphics already. I can like that. Graphics, Andrew Dunn. Music, Darren Farmer. Game concept, 21st Century Software. Cool. Brilliant. I'm losing track of things again though in my mind. I'm just going to read the movement keys. Cursors, interface 2 can be defined. Keys are currently set as Z, X, yeah, this is cool. M action key, H to hold, yeah, that's the usual one. A to abort. To redefine movement keys, press the D key. No, I'm fine. I want to do S to start. Let's go for it. Oh, this looks very good, actually. I'm quite pleased with this. In the cold workshop, good luck. Oh, I'm sort of, okay. Oh. I've got to collect all the items here. All items have to be collected, that's fair enough. What happened? Did you see why I died? Did I run out of air already? Oh, I've only got so many jumps. I've only got so many actions. Oh. I've only got so many actions. Ah. I think I've got only so many actions, and I'm not allowed to go downwards. I think that's what Ralph's not allowed to do. He's not allowed to go down. Yeah, I can't go down. You have to walk up. Interesting. That's interesting. So he can't go down, but he can only go up. That's kind of cool. The score wasn't good enough for the timetable. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, okay. I'm enough for the music. Let's get on with the game. I want to play again. Dong, 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 dong. Yay, Ralph. Right, okay, let's start. Right, come on, Ralph. So it's actually a bit of a puzzle game rather than something else. So realistically, what my best bet here is to stick to that bottom floor. As long as you don't walk down, you're okay. So, up, 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 up is the answer first off. Down. Oh, that's a problem. No, that's not the way to get down there. So that's not the answer to that one. Okay. Oh, can't go under there. Okay, so we can go down here. It's quite hard, this, actually. Okay, I'm trying to work. It's a puzzle one, though. Quite good, actually. I quite like it. So this one will be me here. This one will be me over here. How do I get down there, though? I can't step. I'm not allowed to step down. That's not very good because you can't step down off there. That one's a looping one. That loops you back. So what a bit up here, up here, up here, down this ladder, and this one must beam me to the very top. It does not. I can't walk off the edge of there. I can't walk off the edge of there. I've got one life left. Sorry, I'm thinking here. Sorry, guys. I was a damn good think about that one. That was quite interesting. That one. I've not had one of these. I've not, you know, these 1648s. I've not had these before. Actually, loading. I don't think we can quit the silly music. We have to listen to the music. Well, there's nothing wrong with the music. It's very good music, but it's very long at the end of the whole thing. So. Sorry, I'm losing train of thought today. I don't know why. I think. You know what? I'm not feeling the best today. I had a little bit too much sleep. You know, if you've done that, where you sleep a little too much and you just feel a little bit heady. I felt a little bit too heady, and I've not felt the best recently. And I'm not suggesting it's anything to do with any weird disease that's going around. I'm fully vaccinated, and not that you can't catch the blooming thing again, because it seems that is possible. But I am feeling a little bit wary, worn today, rather than the usual me. I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna push this button here. I'm gonna go there. Ah, that does take me to the top. Hello. Right. Okay. So it is possible to do all this. Blah 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 blah. Aha! I'm getting better. I bet you're all been shouting at the screen that I've been getting this wrong. Right, now I've got a problem, because this is the one that where it doesn't... You can't go anywhere other than that way, look. So I will have to die here, but I can get the rest of the stuff and get on to the next level. Ha-ha! I quite like this. How many were they? How many of these 1684s, 1984, I don't know, 1648s were there? Were there a lot? Did they run for a long time? I assume it was monthly. I quite like this. I wonder if this ever got an official release. I'd have quite liked this, actually. I would have bought it back in the day. There's the exit. Ah, so there is a reason for going that way. Oh, sugar. Why did I do that? Technically, I'd have to go all the way up. All the way up and all the way down again. So there was a reason for going that way. That's it. For a minute there, I was just thinking far too hard about where I was going. Yeah. Next level. The ventilation shaft. I'm guessing he's trying to get off the planet. Yeah, I like this. It's quite interesting. It's like Snakes and Ladders. Now these are going to be hard, so to work out. Oh, sugar! I can't beam down there. I wonder if the assumptionists make with those springy things is that go to the platform that's out straight above it. Maybe that's the way we should look at those platforms, possibly. I wasn't even good enough to qualify for the high score table. That's kind of cool. I like that one. What else was on this? The editorial, the beginner's guide. And a few other bits and pieces. Do you know what? Let's have a little carry on. Let's see what else we can. Let's load whatever else is on here. Let's go for it. We might as well. We're here. We've done it. They won't take long to load. So this is the editorial now. It's completely gone the wrong way, different way, this tape. Forget match day, we're doing this. Go completely a different direction. Nothing wrong with a bit of that, is there? Nothing wrong with that. That's so what's on the tape. It's just genuinely, you know, watching things load for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. It's so, you know, it's why not? It's one of them. It's one of them programs, one of those shows. You can't expect anything less from what's on the tape. You can't expect anything less than maybe even 40 minutes of watching something load, which did happen. Do you remember Fate of Atlantis from I can't remember who it was, US Gold, I think it was, Fate of Atlantis with Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis. 40 minutes of loading. Unbelievable. Phenomenal about it. Right, let's see what's going on. Let's find out the news. June 1985 survey preview. At the time of writing this, we have only had time to analyse the first 350 replies to this issue 16 survey. Wow. The price for our most hated feature went to the glue. Improvements are promised. I have no idea what the glue was. Remember what the glue was? Preliminary analysis indicates that 99.4% of you run 1648 in 48K mode. Most of you are over 25. Oh, wow! Oh, that's actually quite interesting, really. That as a demographic back then. I mean, nowadays, if you talk about spectrums, you're talking to people in the 40s and 50s, realistically. You know, but seeing that over 25s, even back in 1985, is quite interesting to see. There was kind of that kind of age group that could afford them. There's a group of interest in utilities, business orientated. Wow. School days competition. There's the winners. Congratulations. The official Spectrum Plus upgrade. The fall of the Fuller. The price of the Transformer. Wow. Interesting. put off by the fact that you need to be able to solder, and nobody seems to have mentioned that it's the only leads to reset the switch are soldered. Ah, so this basically the soldering has put people off the fuller device. Cool. Have you got a little problem out of this where it's worth £20? QR keys, new features, beginning this month. We're focusing on this. 35% of you seem to have micro drives. Wow. So this, I'm reckoning from this, reading this, just a generalisation. 1648K must have been for the more serious hobbyist stroke Spectrum user at the time, because micro drives, I never saw a micro drive. I never saw a micro drive actually physically working. The only machine I have with a micro drive in it is my Sinclair QL. It's not Spectrum, it's QL, and it has a micro drive in it, and it's totally it doesn't work. It's unfunctional. It needs to be repaired. But that's the only time I ever saw a micro drive. So the fact that there's 35% of them have micro drive is quite an interesting factor. So storing telephone numbers. Chiswick, London. That's where they were. Wow. Meanwhile, we enjoy the rest of the city. Move on. M to move on. Run tape. There we go. That was the editorial. There's beginners section now. There's machine code for experts. And that's next, and then followed by beginners, machine code, and then this another game, and some bits and pieces. We'll just carry on. It's only they're only short tapes, so let's just carry on. Come on, let's have a good look. Let's have a rummage around on the tape. Rummage around on this 1648K tape. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm quite impressed by that. This is total tangent. We went from football, that Wintersoft thing, through to trying to load that first Ralph and Alpha 2, which turned out to be actually quite an interesting puzzle game. I quite like that one. Onto obviously doing this 1648K tape, which I've not done these ones before. I tried to load an Enigma one a while ago. I've never tried any of these 1648Ks. They're just kind of interesting, aren't they? I quite like the look of them. Beginner's Corner. Hardened hackers are better use of the quick key. Yeah. Any other key? Explain the function, proving functions, building up a repository of things. Here's a simple game. Bigger, smaller. Ah, yeah, it's the old bigger, smaller one. Remember this one? Yeah, tells you what they do. Is it bigger or is it smaller? Random game. Yeah. 0 to move on. How to improve the guessing game. Be user friendly. Wow. And you can run the new version, look. There you go. The number is bigger than 10. The number is bigger than 500. It's bigger than that. Bigger than 800. I remember writing games like this. There was a lot of these games were like this. 900's right. It took 6 goes. Oh, didn't do badly. Yeah, 0 to move on. So, yeah, it's interesting. Reverse REMs. That's all, folks. Yeah, that's fine. Quit and load the machine code tutorial. It's pretty short, but succinct, I guess. Interesting. We used to do all these kind of things back in the day, though. We used to have books full of these things, along with our rather metal Crash magazine. That was what was discussing. I remember now. There was another magazine back in the 90s, another one. I've got the whole lot. There was only about 11 issues before it stopped. So it was a magazine. It was like an attempt to do a more This is before Marvel and DC and all this had a massive revival about, for the masses, that is, of their sort of approach to movies and things like that. And comics weren't seen, they were still seen as quite kiddie-ish. There was this very adult magazine, or with a lot of adult sort of stories and things like that in it, called Blast magazine, and I've got all my collection of Blast, and I absolutely love my collection of Blast. Whereas where I first came across the comic book character Lazarus Churchard, which is a fantastic story. In fact, it's so important. Certain parts of it was inspired some musicians as well. Actually, some bands that did songs with about Lucy in the river and things like this. It's something to do with the actual comic, but without losing you too much, very good story, fantastic art, looked really good. That's where I first found that, and actually managed to get the comic after that. But there's a number of other ones in there that haven't appeared since. There's some ones where tracks a Elvis personator going across the states. It's very Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's very, very good. It's a very interesting sort of a series of comics. Can't find it for love nor money. I cannot find it. It was Tundra, I think it was, who produced it. Can't find it. No, can't see it anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the coding for this, because this is just about coding characters and things like that, and changing the spaces and things like that. It's very clever. We're going to quit. We're going to move on. Run the tape. So this should be the game. Yeah. Ludoid. Ludoid's number 5. Anyway, but yeah, so Blast magazine, very good comic book collection. I got all 12 episodes. There are still comics, there's still parts of that comic I cannot find, bits of it. It featured Concrete, though. If you've ever remembered Concrete, it was basically it was a big stone man, effectively, a bit like the Hulk or the Thing, called Concrete. There's a lot of indie comics brought together, and it was very gritty. And it didn't last very long, and that had some absolutely stunning artwork on the front of it. And I can't remember the artist, but he was definitely one on the lines of sort of Oliver Frey and even Bob Wakeland type chaps. It was just an absolutely stunning set of sort of front covers that went with these things. Mr. Monster was one of them. I remember that, and it was a painting on the very first episode, and it was like a portrait painting of Mr. Monster, and it was just he's a man, he's a monster. He wears a helmet, and sort of Judge Dredd style helmet with a sort of fangs and things hanging below it. It's just a stunning piece of artwork, and it's more Oliver Frey, I think, than Bob Wakeland, but it's just an amazing sort of combination of bits and pieces, and that was a lovely comic book. It was a good set of comics, and it's really interesting, how they go. Funnily enough, I a number of years ago, I was going to get into sort of buying and selling of comics, and to make money, as a thing, because I kind of from practice I've learned which ones kind of are winners and losers when it comes to sort of graphically, what they look like, what you're reading, who the writer is, and all this kind of stuff. So over the years I've done that, because I mainly read writers now than necessarily buying. Because it's Marvel, I buy Marvel. I don't buy Marvel. I buy Marvel when it was written by a decent writer. But I've got a lot of comics like that. I've got a whole selection of comics that in a box, and my wife says I need to get rid of them. But I bought them about 10 years ago now, and they're quite valuable at this point. But I haven't got around to selling them. But I really ought to. I'm hoping this is going to load. It doesn't sound good. It sounds terrible, actually. Please load. Fingers crossed. Cross everything, people. Cross everything, peoples. That sounds awful. Don't hold up much hope for the second side of this blooming tape, that's for certain. Because we've got Of Dungeons and Green Men. Golf Explode reviews. Crossword Virgin Competition. I wonder if it's still open. So that was one of the things I was talking about earlier, by the way, the Blast magazine. I meant when I got onto the magazines and moved on to the sort of and crashed to that. I always liked. Was it your Sinclair or Sinclair User? I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Sinclair User had more of the programming stuff in it, so I used to quite like that because I used to do the programming from it. There was a book that I bought from W.H. Smith's again. I remember buying it specifically W.H. Smith's. It was a terrible cover. It had sort of Sinclair User on top of it, and there must have been 20 programs. The spine was terrible. Glue was awful. It literally every page fell out. My dad put a little thing around it. I knew that was going to happen, by the way, because there's no way I'm going to be able to find that again to try and reload it. So we're just going to move on. But I have no idea what that one was, but that just sounded awful, didn't it, when it was loading? I'm not sure how well we're going to do on second side, because that's a very bumpy looking tape, to be honest with you. Nothing to do with heads, that's just literally a bumpy looking tape. We'll give it a try. We'll give it a try, and we'll see whether or not we can get anything to load. So fingers crossed. We'll see if we can get the Dungeons of Green Men to work. I say, not seen many of these. I don't know how many there were and how many issues there were of these 1648. It just seems very interesting. And as I say, the Enigma one looks quite interesting as well. I'm surprised there's not more of a market for them, to be honest with you. But maybe there was lots of them, so it's another one of those where there's absolutely tons, and that everybody has it. So it's not a problem. But it's not one I've come across anyway. No idea what that game was, though, I'm afraid to say, and there's no chance that I'm going to find it, because it'll probably pop up as being on the side of that tape. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to search for PlayZX. Just having a quick search on there, see if I can find it. No, it doesn't even have it set. Unlike Ralph, it doesn't have it separated out, so it's not there, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? It is. It's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame. Rather enjoyed this tape, actually. I've rather enjoyed the fact that we've went with the whole total tangent again. I love a total tangent. The Dungeons of Green Men Adventures. Oh, so Dungeons of Luddites of Dungeons of Dungeons and Green Men Adventure is here. What's a Luddite? Don't know. Right, so this is something to do with the previous game, I guess. Time again to put you out of your misery with a Long Way Home saga and give you some help. Okay. Some people have been having problems with destroying the Transmat jammers. The instructions to tell you how to deal with them and who reads the instructions anyway. So this is what you do. Find the Luddoid jammer and destroy it by pressing your wrist detector. When you have done this and found a clue to the Luddoid base, press the detector again. Right. So this is an adventure game. Luddites are futuristic Luddites. Ah, right, okay, so people who don't... Luddite being somebody who, set in their ways, doesn't like technology necessarily. Their aim is to halt the progression of the new 40th century technology, especially the Transmat Galactic Transport System. It is your job to stop them. I personally want to join them. Oh, do you? They use an ancient symbol meaning Earth as a standard, so keep an eye out for it. The next page is help menu for the first 3 chapters. Press a key. I'm going to press 1. This is just help for the chapter. No, I'm just going to press Q because I'm just going to carry on. Chicken problem. Q. Well, how do I play? What the hell's going on? I don't know what happened there. Do you know what happened there? I don't know what happened there. Wasn't that pushing a button? I don't know. Don't want... Yeah, yeah. We've read this already. Is this like Luddites Chapter 1? 1. Is this just adventure help? Is this just help on that adventure game? Examine straw. What the hell is this? Is this just a guide? Examine the kit. It is. It's just a guide, I think. I don't want to know anymore. No, I don't. Load golf. That was weird. Was that just me? Or was that a bit weird? Was that actually adventure? Was that help for an adventure game? I think it was. I think that's what it was. It's some kind of guide to adventure games. Doesn't say it's a game, if that makes sense on here. Very weird. Very, very weird indeed. Fingers crossed this loads. I'm guessing the Luddites was the previous game that was on there. Was like an adventure game, which we didn't do. Oh, blooming heck. Let's see if we can get to load. Just want to see the golf now. There we go. Golf, golf, golf. I'm on a kind of a mission now to see some more of the stuff that's on here, to be honest with you. I'm just feeling the need to actually get through the tape and find out what's on it. Even if I don't, you know, the thing is about this is that if they came out like this, there's no instructions really with it. There's a little bit of copyright information. Let me just look at the copyright information through a magnifying glass because I'm rubbish with my eyesight. And the copyright, oh no, it's Angus Press. I thought it was Argos. It's Angus Press Group, software group. And it basically just says the contents of the publication, all the articles, design work, public copyright and intellectual properties of therein of Angus Press software. That's all it says on the back of it. That's it. I don't know if it came on a magazine or just a bit of card or something similar back in the day. It looks from the one I've got here that it was stuck to something because there's like a terrible bit of sort of glued paper on the back of it, but that might just be the tape case itself. It might be the case that it came in is poor, but it looks like it was torn off something that was where it was glued to. So I was going to assume that it was a bit of cardboard or something that was attached to it back in the day. I'll tell you what else I got this week. I'll tell you what I was getting onto this as well. Is that I went with my missus. She wanted to go to Asda. I can't remember what for. She wanted to go to the old Asda. And when we're in Asda, I always end up with down the children's toy aisle, obviously. Down the toy aisle, looking at Star Wars figures or other figures to see if there's anything interesting or discounted. Because I don't buy Star Wars figures when they cost lots of money. I'm not into that. The aim of the game is to always find a bargain. You'll know this. Anybody who's watching this channel will know that they're always looking for a bargain. And the only time you really dip your hands in your pocket if you can help it is when you absolutely must have something. So. In the case of Dave, who's been watching this, hello Dave. He'll be sticking his hand in his pocket at some point for a copy of Darkman. But the only time, that's the only time you ever do it. I mean, I stuck my wife bought me a copy of New Venture years ago. And she put a hand in her pocket for it, and it cost her £80 for this tape, but it was for my birthday, so I thank her greatly for that. I recently purchased a copy of Alien Storm for the Spectrum, and I stuck my hand in my pocket for that one because I fancied it, and it was complete, and all the other bits and pieces, and I stuck my hand in my pocket for that one as well, and that cost me £25 for Alien Storm, but I think it was worth it. The box is in good shape, and the whole thing's in good shape. I don't think the game's going to be particularly good. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I don't think it's going to be particularly good, but I thought it was worth it, so I stuck my hand in my pocket. But of course we were in Asda. I went to Star Wars figures, and I got to Star Wars figures, and I looked down and I went, oh, they're just the ones I've got. And my daughter went, no, they're not. Look. And she pulled them out, and there they were, some of the Mandalorian ones from the new Mandalorian series on card, Mandalorian, Kenner style, retro collector version kind of thing of them on sale. So I had to have a copy of. I had to have an IG-88, an IG-11. Sorry, not an IG-88 because he's the one that stars in Empire Strikes Back. So I had to have an IG-11. I had to have the other characters that I could get hold of. I can't remember what they all were. I just had to have them. They were cheap. They were half price. I was like, yep, we're on these. You know, we're gonna do that because at some point they'll well, not that I actually sell anything. They'll look nice on my shelf more than anything else. They look nice on my shelf. If I was going to sell them, I'd buy several copies of them and try and sell them. Tell me how many players there are. One player. Enter your name below. Demon. The very best of luck to you. Enter your handicap below. I don't know. 2. Alright. A handicap of 2 will give you a 1 stroke at each of these 2 ones because they're difficult. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Remember, the rain may cause you to miss hit balls. Do you want rain? Yes. It's raining. What force of wind? 0. You have the following clubs. Okay. Cool. That looks good. Select a club size. One. To play, select a club size. 3, angle 30 degrees. Bless me, sorry. Oh, there we go. 4, angle 10 degrees. Okay. It looks alright. I mean, it's I think we're stuck in the trees though now. It's not bad. It's not gonna. There's a bunker. Not quite in a bunker. 270 degrees. Oh no, 2, 3. I'm totally confusing the clubs here. You'd have to understand clubs a little bit. Oh, I've fired it the wrong way. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's okay. Let's move on. I think I could have done quit on there actually because I'm interested to see what Explode is because there's one called Explode here. This is probably a I don't know, Space Invaders sort of clone or something similar. Maybe. Explode! Boom! Let's see what this one is. Quite excited. I've got to do. I've been putting it off for a while. I've got to do a pickups video at some point because I've got loads of stuff that I need to pick up. I mean, literally loads. I've got piles and piles of stuff. It's all piling up, and I've got loads of things that I need to pick up on. And this because I've got lots and lots of games. I've been really kind of collecting the Switch recently as well. I've been Spectrum and Switch. Those have been the big ones for me recently. I've been really kind of getting into those and sort of choosing sort of to pick up those games and sort of go with those. But yeah, it's been a big sort of Switch collection thing recently. I like the Switch because I think it's a collector's device still. I think it's a proper collector's device. There's no other way of describing it. I think that if you've got a Switch, you're collecting for it. That's the thing. It's a device for, because you can still get cartridges, and I love cartridges, and I don't tend to buy off the digital store anymore. At one point I was buying digital stuff a little bit, especially for like the So for like Amazon Prime and all this kind of stuff. I was buying off there videos and films and all this kind of stuff, and I went, why am I doing this? Why? Because all that's going to happen is that, you know, unless somebody keeps my account open forever, they're just going to lose those videos or those films. It's just a bizarre thing, digital. So, oh, whoa, do it again. Explode. The easy way to smash anything on the screen into pixels, to individual pixels. No sprite is safe. You can produce an explosive graphic routine using machine code. Wow. This program allows you to explode any object on the screen by specifying a rectangle window containing the object, and another window can be set to contain the explosion. The gravity can also be applied. Wow, somebody's went nuts. That's blooming brilliant. And it's called Explosion now. As a large number of parameters are passed to the machine code routine, it is written in basic routine up to 9,000 lines to help the setting up of the whole thing. Wow. Wow. I like that. That's pretty cool, actually. It's very cool indeed. Firstly, the explosive window must be set up from blah blah blah. Right, okay, I know that. I get that. That boat blowing up was brilliant. I want to blow the boat up again. Did you hear me go, do it again, do it again, do it again? I think I'm just cool. I just think it's cool to just keep exploding things. Boom for the bomb. That's brilliant. Save code to machine code to tape. Saved micro drive. Read article again. Can I do that? Read the article again. See if it does the... No, it's not going to do the boat exploding again. That was brilliant. Oh, I'm just going to press Q to quit. That was kind of cool, though. I quite liked that. I'm interested to see... Now, I'm just going to reset back to the... I'm interested to see what is left on here. We've got a couple of things. We've got reviews, crosswords, and the competition for Virgin. So we'll have a look at the reviews, because I'm interested to see what they reviewed back then. What was in 1985, what was hot and what was not. What was hit, what was miss. Stop the tape. I have stopped the tape. Reviews. Press Q. Don't forget to Q to quit. Right. These are the reviews. There's review 1. I wonder what this is for. Interesting to see it's obviously machine code. So I'm guessing we're going to get some graphics here from the game itself, some screenshots. Can you imagine that? Screenshots. It's like YouTube without YouTube. Okay. Oh. Oh, what is that game that it's doing? Beam Rider. It's a thinly disguised Space Invaders. This is my first, but by now probably edited. Yup, edit. Reaction. Spongy resistance to faithful keyboard. Began I to wish I was using a joystick by the 8th level. This is something else. It's a very good basic shoot 'em up and dodge one. Ah, right. Beam Rider, 3 out of 5, I think. Activision. Too much. Price is too much though. Right, Q to quit. Oh, there's more. There's more. There's more. Here's the next review. Beam Rider. That does remind me of something else, and I can't remember its name. Ah, it's a shoot 'em up that's that kind of that look, an arcade one of the day as well. I think it's a Konami game. Can't remember exactly what it is. You put some in the suggestions in the comments below. We might be able to get to the bottom of it. Might be able to get there. Let's see what this next one is. I wonder how many reviews they do. I've stopped the tape. Oh my god! The world's greatest Spectrum game, or one of them anyway. Bruce Lee. Manic Miner with teeth. I don't think so. I think that's a bit unfair to say. There are 20 rooms in all. Constantly being attacked by two vicious characters. Unlike Willie, Bruce can defend himself with kicks and punches. Stick-wielding ninja and a green Yamo. He looks very white to me. Yes, I know he's green on every other version of it though. The animation is fast and smooth. There's a good variety of controls from Bruce. There's also a two-player option where one can take on the aggressive side. Surprisingly, it works. No complaint about the price there. For emotion, beautiful. 3-star. I don't know how many stars it's out of in total. I quite like that. That's kind of cool. Let's see what else they've got on here. Let's see what other reviews they've got. Come on. Review 3. I don't remember any other magazine type things on disc or anything like that. Or was there? You know, they didn't come as magazines, it just came as a disc or something similar. Because I'm sure this just came as a disc. I don't think as a magazine, as tape. I don't think it came as any other format. I think, as I say, I think it was stuck to a bit of card or something similar, and that was the sort of size of it. It's become a decent length episode. This one actually. I was thinking it was going to be a bit shorter, considering I'd picked up two little games. Oh, Mooncrester, classic. Don't you say anything nasty about it. It's actually a very, very good version, Mooncrester. Damn near perfect, the arcade version. High scores can even icon competition, original machine. Rating 2, really? Incentive software. Well, I don't think that's quite right there. Mooncrester. I do like Mooncrester though. It's good that. Let's go for it. See what they've got else on there. Interesting to see what they were reviewing at the time. Review 4. I wonder if they just do like 5 reviews and that's their lot. All of the reviews, all 5. Every review under the sun. Let's see what we've got for the next one. It's kind of exciting actually doing it this way as well, especially with loading it like that, because that gives away nothing, that review 4. I mean, if it said Bruce Lee, you'd have been like, oh, it's Bruce Lee. It's not. Nothing. No, it gives away nothing. Mooncrester review. See, of all those games that we've shown so far, I'd be quite keen to have all of them. They both looked good. Oh, everyone's a Wally. I like the fact they've got the screen there. I never got on with this. I really think it's good. It looks great. It's a clever idea. I never got on with it. I'm just really bad. I'm not going to read about it, by the way. Oh, it gives it a 4-star. Microgen. I say, never got on with it. It really is a good game. I'm sure of it. But I never personally got on with it. Never. I don't know why. And there's nothing wrong with it. Just... It's like a few games, you know, I want to like them and love them. You know, I want to like and love Final Fantasy VII. Everybody says it's brilliant, but I can't get into it. And it's like, I guess it's like Sonic. Can't get into it. Really can't get into Sonic the Hedgehog. Any of them, realistically. I just can't get into them. Mario, can't get into it. No, I lied. There was one Mario I got a little bit into. I got into Mario 64 on the DS. Only as far as when it unlocked the games for the mini games, and then I just played the mini games, the ones where you have to like make Mario shoot out the sky and knock him out and stuff like that. That's it. That's all I got into. Oh, we don't know what this is. Worldwise and nuclear weapons. Ooh. Basically nuke each other. Rating for home 2, for schools and colleges 4. Really? Available mail order only from Richardson Institute, Department of... Oh, right. The University of Lancaster. Right. I bet that's worth a fortune nowadays. Worldwide nuclear weapons. I bet that really is hard to get. I can imagine that, actually. Can you not imagine that being absolutely awful to get hold of at this point? I wonder how many... Oh, crossword. So we're on the crossword, and then we're on to the competition. I'm wondering what the competition is. I wonder we have to guess whether Richard Branson finally gets into space or not. Do you think he has? Because he was building what was Virgin Galactic, wasn't it? That was his thing. He was gonna fly people to the edge of the whatever the sphere is that goes around it, the orbit. He was going to take everybody to orbit, wasn't he? Just to the edge of it, to the edge of space. And then he was going to go into space, and he was doing it from planes, wasn't he? He was launching from planes. So. Don't run or clear, go to 1. I don't know what that means. What's the crossword? The bullfighter who kills the bull. Matador? Matador? Huh, right, okay, there we go. Let's go down here then. Mixed livers with a precious metal. Mixed livers with precious metal. No idea. I'm not very good at crosswords. The mountains in neural psychiatry. Wow. Really? Apparitions which sound like keeping male cats cool. What the hell? There's a short one here. I've got to get this one. A newt left with without half a century. I'm not very good at crosswords, by the way. A country with the world's highest navy. Wow, no idea. Anyway, quit. Yes, I want to quit. Run the tape. This is the last thing on the tape. This is the Virgin competition, so we might be able to win a, I don't know, a balloon. A lock of Richard Branson's hair, maybe. Access to high-speed broadband in 1985. Your own... I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. What did we all want in 1985? Other than a Lamborghini or a Ferrari Testarossa? Or was that before that? Or was that too late? That too early? Not sure what I wanted in 1985. More time in the playground to run round. Less school. That's probably what I wanted in 1985. Less school. What did you want in 1985? What if you were around in 1985, what did you want in 1985? I think it probably was less school, realistically, for me. Thinking about it and how old I would have been then. Yeah, I think that would have been it. More Spectrum games. Yeah, more Spectrum games. Right. Virgin competition back then. Right, okay, press a key. 1QM 1QANM. Oh, it's Falcon Patrol 2. Yeah, I'm not very good with these shuffle games. Yeah, I'm not very good with it, but it's Falcon Patrol 2 anyway. It's what the answer to that one is. Whatever that game is, That is the answer. Falcon Patrol 2. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Genetic Demon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next week. Bye-bye now.